Brendan explains the code.
The code.
The sport of ice hockey is the only sport on the planet that tolerates fighting and retribution,
Madness.
even though their rules prohibit doing so. Referees will penalise players for breaking the rules, but sometimes the players take matters into their own hands.
Yeah.
There are unwritten rules that govern how players should behave that you won't find in any rulebook.
You guys have been commenting on our video of the ice hockey, and do you know what they say? So I went to a boxing match and hockey started, and a game of hockey broke out. So basically saying they went to see fights and then there was hockey playing, but they're taking a mix saying, instead of like, oh, I went to see a hockey game and a fight broke out.
Yeah,
I went to see a
boxing.
fighting match and hockey broke out. So basically saying they allow the fighting so much that it's basically the reason why people actually go. It's quite jokes.
I mean, I would go for that reason. I'm sorry, but it's entertaining for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And have you noticed in the previous video, they go mental, the crowd, when a fight breaks out.
They love it.
Oh my gosh.
And there are even specific players on hockey teams whose sole job it is to police the game accordingly. These are the enforcers, otherwise known as goons, tough guys, fighters, cops. And whilst it's their sole job to police the game, the code applies to every player on the ice. These unwritten rules are based on mutual respect for your opponent and protecting your teammates. This is the code.
Let's see.
The first rule of the code is that they do not talk about the code. Whilst these rules exist amongst players, there is no official record of the rules of the code, except for this video. And you won't find these in any official rulebook. The NHL, or International Ice Hockey Federation, will always officially decline to comment about any code. This is because they don't want to officially admit that their sport that they govern isn't completely under their control.
But there's a code, so it does exist. They just can't comment on it.
Yep.
This guy, I appreciate the content, but he's baiting the code out right now.
Yeah.
He's putting himself at risk.
The players police the game as much as the referees do, and sometimes they police it a little too much. Rule number 2, if you do something bad, expect to pay the price.
The stars don't get touched, but we're here to fight. So everyone else fight, but let the stars play hockey.
Touch our stars and watch what happens.
That's the unwritten rule. That's quite mad, you know. A shame you can't say that for soccer, what we call football. Messi and Ronaldo are always getting fouled left, right and centre.
Yeah.
Should you unfairly target a star player, expect swift retribution as per rule number 2. Rule number 4, ignore rule 3 if that star breaks rule 2.
Makes
Sidney
sense.
Crosby, a generational player that could score goals at will and will one day be enshrined into the Hockey Hall of Fame. A talent so immense that he doesn't need to dive, take cheap shots or hit anybody when they're down. But he does it anyway. This is totally unacceptable.
Nutcracker. Ooh.
Once you're a star player that resorts to these tactics, rule number 3 no longer applies.
You know what it is? He probably fell in love with the fight side of hockey, and that probably what's got him into it rather than the hockey itself. So whenever he's a star, he's like, nah, but I'm born for this shit. This is what got me in. I want to be in there when the fighting happens.
They don't want to be in the cage fight. They want to be in the hockey fight.
Yeah, mad, isn't it? That's actually crazy.
And you'll have a bullseye on your back just like everyone else. Rule number 5, no sucker punches.
Respect.
There is a proper decorum to challenge someone to a fight. However, sucker punching someone, i.e. punching them when they're down or not looking, is an unacceptable way of doing so.
Knocked him out.
This is cowardly, and blindsiding someone like this will result in the opposing team taking note.
Yeah.
Expect swift retribution as per rule number 2.
Good shit.
Lots of it. Rule number 6, pick on someone your own size or bigger. Constant.
I love that there's so much respect behind the disrespect. Literally, like, it's just...
You can fight, but respectfully, yeah?
Just follow these rules. Yeah. Follow the code.
Rule number 7, verbally or physically agree. To challenge someone to a fight, it's important to stand square onto your opponent. Gesture with the hands, the helmet, or start shaking off your gloves. Dropping the stick is a clear indication that you want to throw down. It's fair to bait them physically or verbally, but if you're wearing a cage or full visor, it's proper etiquette to remove that prior to fighting your opponent. Fighting with a half visor may be morally acceptable in some, but not all, leagues. Rule number 8. Don't back down. When challenged to a fight,
remember these rules, alright?
Of a crime committed on the ice, it is seen as cowardly if you do not accept the challenge. Backing down is not cool. You will not receive any brownie points with your teammates and expect some form of retribution sometime during the game, legal or not. Rule number 9. You do not turtle.
What's that?
Once you have engaged in a fight, it is not acceptable to turtle, i.e. curl up in a ball to avoid punches. This is seen as cowardly. You have accepted the challenge to fight. And
So fight!
You must.
Fight to death!
This reminds me of Fight Club. Have you guys watched the film? You watched some of it.
No, I didn't watch all of it.
Yeah, but you watched a part of it. This reminds me of that, like just the way the rules are and stuff.
We need to watch Fight Club after this.
It's a good film.
Hype ourselves up.
Brad Pitt. Sick film.
Rule number 10. It is acceptable to premeditate fights. It is deemed courteous to politely ask a player if he wants to fight. Exhibit A.
Do you want to fight?
Rock.
Yo, bro, do you not fight?
Okay. Square up. Yeah, good luck, man.
Yo, hey,
This is the gentlemanly way of instigating a fight.
That was
and
very
a fine
respectful.
example of good code etiquette.
I hear that.
If a premeditated challenge is accepted,
They are
the gloves
fighting
must come off
respectfully.
and
Yeah.
helmet visors removed before you fight. Respected enforcers will actually remove their helmets completely and roll up their sleeves. This is to protect their opponent's hands as well as their own. This is the ultimate mark of respect. Rule number 11. You do not punch someone lying down. Once the fight has reached the ground, and one or both combatants have hit the ice, you must stop immediately. They are in a defenseless position. It is dishonorable to hit someone when they're down.
I agree with that because when you watch these street fight videos, half of those ones where people end up really badly hurt to the point where they're like close to death or brain injury is when they get dropped and then they get like booted in the head or they get punched when they're down. That's like where the escalated damage happens and it's really bad, man.
It's because they're in a vulnerable position as well.
Yeah, but there's no code of respect in the street fighting world.
In the hockey world, there's a code of respect.
Which is like, we're going to fight, but you know what? We'll do it like men.
Yeah, roll up the sleeves.
You know the code.
Hit the helmet off, yeah?
I respect it.
Yeah.
If street fights were like this, less people would be like dead. It's true.
Especially if they can't defend themselves. The punishment and retaliation for breaking this rule is severe. Rule number 12. You do not fight goalies unless you are a goalie or they instigate it.
That's why the goalies always fight the goalies. Do you remember we saw in that video, we're like, oh, it's the goalies fighting again. The goalies will fight the other goalie.
Each other, yeah. They don't fight the other players.
And they don't get like players trying to fight them. It's like goalies have their own little beef.
Yeah.
That's really cool, you know.
Goalies, like stars, have a job to do. And it doesn't involve fighting.
They're respected.
Unless they challenge you and it's obvious that they're doing so, leave them well alone. That said, it is acceptable for both goalies to fight each other, even if no incident has happened between them.
That is hilarious. I love
Rule
it.
number 13. Brawling is fair game.
Jeez.
It is perfectly acceptable to retaliate to multiple infractions made by both sides. If every player steps in at once, it's fair game to challenge someone completely unrelated to the original altercation and fight with them. This is to prevent the opposing player from applying damage to their teammates and to temporarily eliminate them from the game by getting them and yourself sent to the penalty box. Rule number 14. Be wary of pests.
What's pests?
A pest is a player whose sole job it is to antagonize and annoy you and your teammates in order to draw penalties. They will resort to anything from verbal abuse to underhand tactics to licking your face. They will most likely challenge you to a fight and then proceed to run away, leaving you with an instigator penalty.
So they go around trying to get you penalized and they get away, like they basically make your blood boil, so you act wrong and then you go in the penalty box and you're a player down for as long. I think someone said it's like
5 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was 5 minutes.
Well, I think it was 5 minutes as well.
Comment below if we're wrong, guys.
Be cautious when you challenge them to a fight, because that's exactly what they want you to do.
They're the scum of this respectful code fight. They're the ones that they're like the rats. It's like snitching. You don't snitch
There we go.
on the bro code. If you do the crime, you do the time. And this guy's going around being a little rat, a little weasel.
Rule number 15, the golden rule. You stand up for your teammates, whether it's your job or not.
Nice, I like that.
Whether you're an enforcer or not, if you are on the ice and foul play happens, you are expected to stand up for your teammates, regardless of size, weight or star power. These players will stand up for you, through thick and through thin, and it is seen as cowardly to not return the favour. Teammates will notice if you don't have their back, so be wary because one day, it might be you that needs the help.
The goalie's at it.
The most interesting thing is that the code is open to interpretation. No two players have the exact same interpretation of the code. But in general, these are the rules that ice hockey players live and die by, even if they're not written down. When regular rules aren't enforced properly, the code dictates how justice is served. In conclusion, there are some amazingly talented players in the sport of ice hockey, and there are people whose job it is to protect them. These men and women have given up being stars themselves, taken lower paychecks, significantly shortened their own careers, and risked their lives and future health, all to protect their teammates when the rules of the game fail to do so. These are noble warriors who will fight with honour and within the unwritten rules of the game. They deserve our absolute respect because they are the enforcers of the code.
The code.
Did you learn a lot there?
I learned so much. Fight respectfully.
I like how honourable that is. That's
you know what's sad though? In one of the clips when two players had a fight and there was a guy just banging on the glass of pure entertainment. Why do human beings find it entertaining when there's a fight?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
But that's why it's become a sport. That's why boxing and UFC and MMA exist, because it's an entertainment. It's like gladiator days. Back in the day, people put on the shield, have a sword, fight to the death, kill each other. Yeah. And everyone's, look at you, you love Gladiator. That's your favourite film, right? Is it your favourite film, Gladiator?
Yeah, but that's different.
It's not different. That's how it was. It's just now people aren't killing each other with swords. It's literally Gladiator. They've watered it down and made it safer by giving boxing gloves. It's literally, you're in a ring, you're in a coliseum, surrounded by people. It's different.
No, Gladiator was about war.
Yeah, but it
wasn't entertainment.
The rich used to do it for entertainment. Those, the emperors, they'll be like, have the slaves. You remember they kidnapped the slaves and they have them fight to death for entertainment. This is modern day Colosseum. That's all it is, like boxing and MMA. It's madness. I know. It is entertaining though. I watch boxing. I find it very entertaining.
There we go.
But respect the code. I love how, what's the word? I don't know the word, but it's like, it's a mutual respect on both parties and the code shouldn't be broken.
It's like the bro code of hockey.
It's the bro code of hockey.
Yeah.
With punch-ups involved.
Yeah.
Look, gotta love it. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for recommending the video. For now, peace out.
Bye.